Dog Talk is sponsored by New Leash Companion Animal Center and A1 Pet Emporium.
I love dogs any kind. It really doesn't matter at all. Short, fat, skinny or tall. It really doesn't matter at all. Long hair, short hair, hey, no hair at all. Playing, eating, sleeping, or just catching a ball. 'Cause I love dogs any kind. I love dogs, I love dogs. I love dogs. Hi, folks, and welcome to Dog Talk. I'm Pat Becker, and my co-host is Ted McGuire, and we have a super show for you today, very informative, and I would like to introduce right off the bat the Yorkie Rescue who are over here. Everybody has asked me if we have a Yorkie Rescue. Everybody I meet, they say, you know, you've never mentioned that, but we do, guys, and it's a very important factor. We are giving the rescue a $100 gift certificate and hope that they will keep in touch with us because we need to know what's going on. So, I wanted today to start off our show advising everybody about the heat. It's upon us. It is summer. It is hot. And we get very, very overheated, but you know what? Our dogs get even more overheated when you don't take care of them. And we have a couple of solutions on if your dog is an outside dog, which I would rather it be inside.
Rather it be inside, but, you know.
But if it is an outside dog, this is kind of a heads up on what to do. Watch this. Here's a quick tip for helping your dogs maintain a normal body temperature throughout the summer season. Provide cool water pools for them to hop into. Plastic baby pools are great. Also, new plastic cement mixing tubs are very inexpensive and sturdy. Provide plenty of fresh water daily, keeping buckets and pools in a shaded area. If you have a covered patio, provide your dog with a comfortable blanket or bed. And remember, folks, the heat you feel is twice as hard on your pet. A word to the wise should be sufficient. Am I right, Ted?
Plus, it makes for a fun pool party.
It does. You could invite your friends over who have other dogs and get a larger pool. That would work. Also, one of my bugaboos, one of the things that I am really avid about is keeping your dogs out of the car when you're going driving somewhere. Even if it's for, say, 15 minutes into the grocery store, you leave the windows rolled up, or even if they're rolled down just a little bit. You got to remember, a dog's temperature is, what, 101, 102? If it gets to be above that, 106 maybe, you're in big trouble with your dog because he will have a problem medically. And the issue is, why take them somewhere during the summertime? If you have to, if you're going specifically to the veterinarians or something like that, then they go with you. Right. You go to PetSmart, you can take them in there. There are parks that you can go to. There are a lot of places around our city where you can take your dogs, but for goodness sakes, people, please, please don't leave your dogs in the car.
If you see someone that has been left in the car, do something about it.
Do something about it. That car, if you say, well, it's 70 degrees, well, it's going to be 90 or above in your car.
Right.
And it gets worse as it gets hotter. So please, please, folks, please do not leave the dogs in the cars and furnish them with exactly what they need on hot summer days. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to some people who know all about that, plus a lot. They're veterinarians, and we have Rod Hall here. Dr. Hall knows about the tornado problems. We're going to work on some solutions. Stick around.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we have only the best. If your dog or cat suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, hair loss, or is just plain finicky, we can help.
Local pet rescues with adoptable pets are on site most Saturdays from noon to 4. We are locally owned and operated and want to be your neighborhood pet food store. Give your pet the best by shopping at A1 Pet Emporium, northwest corner of May and Britton.
Nestled in the mountains of northwest Arkansas, minutes from Eureka Springs, is Spider Creek Resort. Secluded on 50 acres, our cabins from studios to 3 bedrooms all have fully equipped kitchens and outdoor grills. Spider Creek is a home away from home for families, fishermen, and groups of all sizes. Enjoy hiking, float the crystal clear waters of the White, or fish for trout. Our full-service fly shop will address all your equipment, food, and beverage needs. Spider Creek Resort, your home in the mountains.
Want to learn all about raising a kitty or how to socialize your dog? We're here to help. New Leash Companion Animal Center offers facilities for sporting events, no-cost pet bathing, spay, neuter, and vaccination clinics with a huge database of animal resources, including dogs trained for special needs. New Leash Companion Animal Center is the best resource for all animal-related issues. Your animal information station.
Oklahoma's fabulous Battle of the Brains is bigger than ever. Not only are Oklahoma's colleges and universities fielding teams, now 32 Oklahoma high school teams face off in Mind Games High School Edition. Scholarships and prize money are courtesy of the Chickasaw Nation, OERB, and Ward Petroleum. This Sunday night, Mind Games High School Edition features Edmond Memorial versus Piedmont at 6, followed at 6:30 by Redlands Red versus Rogers on Mind Games College Edition, only on MyKSBI.
We have the Emergency Animal Response Team with us today, guys. Now that sounds like a lot of words, but they are big words. They are important words. Last year during our tornado, we had a horrendous time trying to figure out what we could have done better. Could we have saved more lives, saved more pets' lives? Well, these guys who are with me today have come up with a plan. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Hall. How are you?
Good.
You are our state veterinarian.
Yes.
Very important job. A lot of responsibility.
Yes.
And Alicia Sutherland. Dr. Sutherland, how are you?
I'm good. How are
and
you?
your position is?
I am the Animal Emergency Coordinator for the Department of Agriculture.
Yes. And Patty, you are a veterinarian.
Yes, I practice in Newcastle, but I'm one of the lead veterinarians for the McCart, which is the McLean County Animal Response Team.
And you are Dr. Manis.
Right, Patty Manis.
Exactly. And Ed Cravens, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Now you are kind of an instigator.
Yes.
You kind of came up with this kind of basic plan and went, hey, you stomped your feet and said, we got to do something, right?
It also actually started back in 2007 after I listened to one of the Department of Agriculture presentations on the need for taking care of animals in emergencies and disasters.
Yeah, they were kind of pleading at that particular juncture. Yeah. Well, you know, I remember last year, Dr. Hall, when you and I were at the Home Depot. This was right in the middle of Moore where they had this horrible tornado. And we did a video on that. I want to show this to you, and let's reflect. We are here in Moore, Oklahoma, at Southwest 19th at the Home Depot, which is a sanctuary for these animals that you are taking in right now. This is Dr. Hall, who is our state veterinarian, and he is going to explain to us about what's going on here.
Well, this location, Miss Becker, is what we call our triage and check-in location. This is the area that we have that's closest to the destruction from the tornado. So private people whose pets have been injured, we have teams of animal control officers and some of our livestock inspectors are going out and finding these pets that have been misplaced, and they bring them here for just an initial check over. We do some basic first aid if it's needed. If they need more medical care than that, we have several small animal practices around the area that are taking them in and taking care of those animals. The majority of them need very little care, if any, but they are displaced, so we're taking them to, we have 4 different locations that are accepting them and sheltering the animals until we can find their proper owners again.
Their owners here. What's the next step?
Well, the next step is to Once this incident is over with, once we have all the pets reunited that we possibly can, the next step is that we will sit down, those of us who have worked on this, we'll bring in some of the volunteers that helped us, and we'll have what's called an after-action review, and we'll discuss what went right, what worked, what didn't work, what do we need to improve on the next time, and we'll develop a plan that we believe will be better and where we can respond more quickly and more efficiently the next time. One thing that's probably come to light on this is that maybe we weren't quite as prepared for the livestock part of it.
After the cleanup then, will there be people coming in and still looking for animals, or if animals come through?
Yes, we will. Our plan right now is to have this operation ongoing for at least another week, and and then we'll just see how it's going. We think that by that time most people will have been able to get into their homes, and if we still have dogs that are trapped or cats, we think that by then they'll have gotten out. Even after that, if we're able to basically stop this triage exercise, we still are going to have to be involved in helping people find their pets, and that'll be ongoing for at least 30 days.
And each time it happens, you learn from it. Each time you gain the experience that you need to make things run even more smoothly the next time. Please, Lord, we don't need a next time.
Amen.
But those things happen. That is nature, and we accept that fact. And we are Oklahomans, and we will survive, and we love our animals, so it sort of all fits together in God's plan. Thank you so much, Dr. Hall. I appreciate it.
All right.
Well, then was then, and now is now. So I would like to hear what has happened from that time, which was a year ago, until now. So Ed, you were telling me that you had heard we were having some kind of discussion, and they were talking about what to do and kind of mulling it over.
Well, we've found that we need to encourage and educate the public better on what they can do way before an event. And so we've started that process, making sure your pet's medications are up to date, making sure that they're microchipped, that you have a kit ready for them and what you're going to do prior to an event. That makes it so much easier for us to reunite the animal with the owner.
Right. And so you have, across the state, there will be people in teams, am I correct, who will know how to organize if there is a disaster, right? So what will they do, Dr. Sutherland?
Well, right now what our big plan is and Ed and Patty are involved with, are developing animal response teams that can help with sheltering of animals that are displaced, or even animals who have owners, but the owners no longer have somewhere to go. And so that's our goal.
Yeah, and that was a huge factor, because people without homes, they were looking for homes themselves. So they had to take their dogs to the different rescues and the different shelters, which were already overloaded. And it made for great stress across the board. And finding these animals, we had to go online, we had to do search and things like that. But there will be actually a place for people to go, some building that will be volunteered, and a place that these dogs will be put, separate, of course, from the people. But Patty, what is will this help the stress?
Well, there's nothing like having the stress of losing your home and then not being able to find your four-legged kid, at the same time. So one of the things that the animal response teams do is they identify the resources in the area. They make sure we know, well, what if it hits this area? Do we have a kennel, or do we have a fair barn?
A place, exactly.
So we have pre-identified areas and resources. And then getting the people trained. Don't wait till the disaster comes and shows up. Get involved. Learn the incident command system. Learn the way, so that you fit in with a cog into this whole machine. It'll make it go much smoother. We learned a tremendous amount last year with the tornado response, working with the state level and with the federal level. And it was a phenomenal learning experience. And it was a terrible tragedy, but the wonderful joyous stories, the reunification,
yes.
You know, the ways you were able to go in and help was just phenomenal.
And that's very gratifying. But to have a place, to have a plan, and that's the whole key. Have a plan, not only for the people who are experiencing this, but all of you who can aid them and help them. So how are we getting the word out besides this show? How are you going to do that? Through each community? Will they have
yes. Dr. Sutherland and the existing county animal response teams are, you know, we publicize it. Every time we go out and talk to groups of private citizens, groups of veterinarians, we always talk about this and encourage people to volunteer. We've worked through the Oklahoma Medical Reserve Corps.
Yeah.
They've been very good to assist us by trying to identify people who are willing to help in an animal emergency.
Exactly.
And they
volunteers,
cover a wide range.
you know, people who will help. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
We get it. You're busy. Work, kids, life, and you need a car to get everyone everywhere they need to go. The last thing you need is to come to a dealership and fill out paperwork. And what about explaining your bad credit situation again and again? Now you don't have to. Just go to thekeyonline.com and complete your application from home. It usually takes about 15 minutes. Once approved, you can pick your vehicle from our online inventory and we'll have it waiting for you. The Key. Cars, loans, life.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats.
Quality does not have to cost more, and we have only the best. If your dog or cat suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, hair loss, or is just plain finicky, we can help.
Local pet rescues with adoptable pets are on site most Saturdays from noon to 4. We are locally owned and operated and want to be your neighborhood pet food store. Give your pet the best by shopping at A1 Pet Emporium, northwest corner of May and Britton.
OSU Center for Veterinary Health Sciences means education, research, and service. The Veterinary Hospital and Disease Diagnostic Lab are here to serve you. Treating all species, the hospital offers many veterinary medical services. The Diagnostic Lab helps veterinarians identify and treat diseases. The only veterinary college in Oklahoma, OSU veterinarians are practice ready, because healthy animals equal healthy people.
Join the conversation on Facebook with Dog Talk after the show. Like the page and upload your pictures for a chance to appear on an episode.
So during this past year, all of you have been in preparation for this project. And you were mentioning, Patty, something to me on break that you wanted to add.
Well, people were so very generous, and they donated a lot of goods, and we had some wonderful grants. The Kirkpatrick Foundation gave a large grant. We've been able to bring in people and do disaster training for the firemen, for the public, and we've had a lot of training going on. We've established a number of counties have established their own animal response team. I mean, we're McLean County, and we can go outside of our borders if we're requested and activated through the Medical Reserve Corps. We'll go anywhere in the state of Oklahoma. The fact that if you have a team in place in your county, then they're right there in their backyard, and they can identify the local resources.
So what you're doing basically is soliciting volunteers in each of these communities. So how do you reach them? Do you go into the communities? Do you do it through?
Do it through emergency management. Each emergency management director is familiar with the animal response teams, and they will know how to get in contact with the agriculture.
Yeah, well, I cannot tell you of what help that it will be, because I know you never expect things like that to happen to you. You hear about them, you watch it on TV, and you go, oh my, that was horrible. But when it happens to you, and I've had one that came through part of my property, it does sound like a freight train. And when it comes, it is devastating because it is so strong, it tears down everything in its path. And it's hard to imagine to have a house and then, 10 minutes later there is no house. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Where's my dog? Where are my cats? Where are my kids? It's a terrible feeling, because you're just not prepared. So hopefully, folks, that we will get a lot of help from this project So we have to kind of keep in tune. How, if someone wants to find out more about it, is there an online something, a website, something that they can go to find out more about it, Dr. Hall?
They can go to the website for the Oklahoma Medical Reserve Corps, and they can sign up to volunteer there, or they can call us at the Department of Agriculture, the Animal Industry Division, and we'll be glad to visit with them and find a place for them to volunteer.
Excellent. And so I would advise you, please, folks, do this because it's so simple. Everybody knows how to get online. Everybody knows how to go to websites. This way you will have a plan, and as I say, that is the bottom line. What these people are doing is setting forth a plan in a large scale, so they can tell you exactly what you need to do to be prepared. And preparedness is everything. Am I right? And of course, as we always say, educating people to this, promoting it, getting them to do this sort of thing, just to put out the effort to go online to find out. So we thank you so much, Dr. Sutherland, Dr. Hall, Patty Manis, and Ed Cravens. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate your participation. And this time, you know, we're going to be prepared.
We appreciate you getting the word out.
Well, you know, it's an important thing, gosh knows, and I hope everybody else in the media picks up on this. It is so important, so huge. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to find out how a tiny little Chihuahua survived being gone for 2 years and was returned to its owner. Is that a happy thought? Oh, yeah.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats.
Quality does not have to cost more, and we have only the best. If your dog or cat suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, hair loss, or is just plain finicky, we can help.
Local pet rescues with adoptable pets are on site most Saturdays from noon to 4. We are locally owned and operated and want to be your neighborhood pet food store. Give your pet the best by shopping at A1 Pet Emporium, northwest corner of May and Britton.
If you have a dog, then you know that accidents happen. You've tried pads, but they just spill off the corner onto the floor. Tired of coming home to a mess every single day? There's gotta be a better way. Introducing the Bullseye Pee Pads, specifically designed so your dog only pees in the center. The problem with regular pee pads is that your dog will pee anywhere on the pad, which could be messy. But the Bullseye Pee Pads have concentrated pheromones that attract your dog right to the center of the pad only. Now your dog hits the target every time, guaranteed. Bullseye. It even locks in odors and releases a pleasant scent. The revolutionary Bullseye has pheromones right in the center of the pad. Plus, the ultra-absorbent quilted material is filled with odor-eliminating micro-lock beads that absorb and hold the liquid. Watch, we poured the same amount of liquid onto both pads. See it run off a leading competitor's pad, but not the Bullseye pad. And even when we add more, it still stays off the floor for all-day use. The Bullseye is the best for puppy training and teaches your dog exactly where to go outside too, so your grass will never look like this again. No one likes to go out in the snow or cold pouring rain. The Bullseye keeps you both inside warm and dry. And the Bullseye is a must if you live in an apartment. Your dog will never need to wait for the elevator again. Stop using pads that leak on the floor or worse, onto your carpets. With the Bullseye, you'll never clean a mess again. Call now and get 24 Bullseye pee pads for only $12.99. If you order right now, we'll send you 6 more pads absolutely free. That's 30 pads. But wait, order now and you can double the offer and get 30 more. Plus, you can also get our famous Crazy Critter. This stuffing-free toy equals hours of fun for the dog you love. The Bullseye pee pads, just $12.99. Call now.
Call 1-800-509-1761. But hurry and get a special offer on a second set of Bullseye pee pads with your order. But you must call now. 1-800-509-1761.
Meet characters like Dan, the kids, and the Queen herself. Only on Roseanne.
Weekdays at noon on My KSBI.
Dog Talk is sponsored by New Leash Companion Animal Center and A1 Pet Emporium.
Dog Talk is taped before a live studio audience. To be a part of the fun, send an email to dogtalk@ksbitv.com or call 405-470-0993.
Well, do we have a story for you guys? This little dog sitting on my right over here with Lori Whitten is Speedy. Now, Speedy is not only speedy, but he is very smart. and very cunning, and he is a hero because Speedy disappeared one day, and 2 years later, he's found. And of course, here is the commercial, guys. It's all about the microchip. Now, microchips are so important, and this proves the point. If this doesn't prove the point, I don't know what will. So, Lori, what happened? And by the way, Sarah Logan, welcome.
Thank you.
And you were down at OU and in Norman, and this dog, how did you get this dog? How did this happen?
Oh, I'm not actually the one who found him. Those were 2 OU students
who came
at the time. Yes, and I had the privilege of writing a story about
him. That's
journey.
right. That is exactly right. Which is where we heard about it. It was a wonderful story. You did such a fantastic job.
Oh, thank you. I had a great time writing it. You know, I'm a dog person, and when I got the chance to do this
it's a journalist's dream. You know, it really is to be able to write about something. You know, when you love dogs that much and all.
And it has a happy ending.
Maybe it becomes a movie.
We should make a movie out of this. But so tell me, Lori, because little dogs like this, and I have had a Chihuahua, as I say, my dog lived to be 20 years old, so I know about Chihuahuas. And he got out of the gate one day.
He did.
Did you tell me, working in the yard or something?
Working in the yard, and the gate was open about that much. And
that's all it took?
That's all it took, and he was gone.
So he was virtually nowhere to be found. You searched for him through the usual methods. What did you do to try to find him?
We put up posters. We went to all the businesses around, houses, Craigslist, Facebook. My husband has access to information on vets and things. He sent faxes to all the vets in the city, and nothing. He was gone. Nothing.
I know that you were really upset.
Well, we were devastated.
Yeah, you know, and that happens so much, and people always feel so guilty about it, you know, because you think, you know, what could I have done? What did I do wrong? But, you know, a lot of times it's not really up to you. You know, if the dog is wanting to get out, the dog will get out.
He puts his head down and he's gone.
And he's gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, but to survive, you know, and you found him down in Norman.
He was found in Norman.
Which you lived north. Very north.
We did. We live northwest Oklahoma City.
So this is incredible.
Yeah.
So he was gone for 2 years.
2 years and 2 months.
And of course, Sarah wrote this beautiful story about him. And the dog ended up in the Norman Animal Shelter. So the only way that this dog got home, as I say, is the microchip.
That's correct.
How old is he, by the way?
Well, we think he's about 12. We actually were Speedy came to us after being on the streets for quite a while, and he was about 5 then.
Yeah.
And,
so did you install the microchip?
We did.
Okay. God bless you for doing that.
That's right.
Don't you wish you could interview Speedy?
Oh.
Don't you wish you could talk?
Oh,
I mean, just
if I had a GPS,
just think about being this tall and running around, you know.
Yeah.
He would, I mean, Speedy would have a story that would...
Tell us, Speedy. Tell us about your journey.
He says, oh, Ted, I don't know. Let's hand him over here to Ted.
Sure.
And maybe he'll tell Ted. You know, guys
Speedy,
get together.
Yeah. Tell me. Tell me your story.
Well, you know, they at least know that he passed through Midwest City at some point because he had a tag, a rabies tag
from Midwest City. So he actually went to some other people.
He did.
And escaped from them.
Well, we're not sure about that. But he did end up, I'm not sure if he escaped or if he was given to someone else, but then he ended up with a lady in Norman who had him for 11 months, and her name is Linda,
and she did that.
Well,
I just wanted to show you that we have a few gifts for Speedy, and we have a $100 gift certificate for you to A1 Pet Emporium to buy Speedy some toys. Look at that, Speedy. He said, even at 12 years old, I can do that.
Oh, yeah, he's a young 12.
Skunk he's beaten
Yes, exactly. Folks, I hope you get the message. For goodness sakes, not only spay and neuter, but microchip. That's the way to go. And remember, guys, the important thing is get that out there and get it done, because you'll be sorry if you don't. Am I right? And glad if you did.
Yo,
we'll talk to you later. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.